Oh, hello, hello, hello. Long time no see, right? Well, that's only for those of you who stopped in and saw my coffee and chat this morning. So, it's a few hours later. Oh, hope you guys are doing well. Are you ready for this cute little bee? Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. He's so cute. Hello, Shoreline and Cheryl. How are you, ladies? Oh, let's see who's over here. All right, I finally found my Facebook feed. It's actually on my Paint Along with Lana Facebook feed instead of on my business Facebook feed. So I'm going to figure out how to change that. Get it back into the other one, or possibly have it go to both. I don't know. I don't think you can have it go to both, but we shall see. Hello, Lorraine. So I am ready for this bee. I think he is so cute, and you can be as creative with him as you want to be. And like I said, I got this surface at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to tell you all about how I prepped it and got everything going. So now YouTube's not showing me my chat, so I've got to go look for it somewhere else. Okay. All right. So you guys know that I started doing giveaways, and my last live I gave drew a name and got some brushes, but you know I'm going to throw in a few extra things from me as well. The brushes are from Dynasty, so I'm very thankful to them for donating some brushes that I could pass on to you guys. So I am going to give away brushes again today from Dynasty, and all you have to do to be entered to win is to comment, like, share. If you want to subscribe while you're here, that's a bonus. So I appreciate if you subscribe while you are here as well. But it doesn't matter if you're on my Facebook page or YouTube. You just need to comment, like, and share, and there you go. Then you're entered. I put all your names on a wheel, and we'll pick a winner. So it'll be a lot of fun. All right, so I am going to put me up small in the corner so we can start this cute little bee. My palette camera was all glitchy this morning. I don't know what's going on with it. It just kept going in and out, in and out, in and out, and then it froze. And I reinstalled it a couple of times, and I couldn't get it to stop doing the glitchy thing. So I'm not using my palette camera today. My palette's right here. I'll try to stay, keep it within the shot so that you guys can see it as well. All right, so this is the cute bee that we are doing. And this is the surface from Hobby Lobby right here in their spring shop. My Hobby Lobby still had some the other day when I was in there. $2.99, 40% off, so it made it $1.70 something, maybe somewhere around in that range, which is pretty cheap for a surface that already has the imprinted drawing on it. So you don't have to trace anything or put anything on here. It is ready to go. So when you see surfaces like that at Hobby Lobby or even the dollar store and they've already got something on it, man, those are a bonus. So grab those up and take them home, practice on them, paint on them. I mean, they are very affordable surfaces, even if you just want to practice on them. So yeah, super, super cute surface. So this one will probably go into a mystery box. I've got 5 mystery boxes left back there. I think I'll throw this in one of them, and maybe find something else to throw in the others, so that we can like to keep them kind of equal. So we'll be doing that, or I'll be doing that, and this is what we're going to paint, you guys. Isn't this just so cute? And those wings, oh my gosh, those wings, so pretty. So pretty. All right, so I'm going to tell you how I got to this point on here, and we're going to paint it to look like this. Fingers crossed, you guys. Set this over here somewhere where I can prop it up and look at it. make sure I paint it close to the same way. I always like to paint for you guys as close, if I'm doing a live, as close to my original piece as possible, you know, so that you can see how I did it. All right, so I started off this surface by applying multi-purpose sealer to the back with a damp sponge, okay? And then I applied 2 coats of my soft black. Then I lightly sanded it. You can sand it with a brown paper bag or a very, very fine sanding grit, sanding pad of some kind. I have one that is super soft, super soft. So something like that, or just brown paper bag. Brown paper bag works great. I have several in my drawer right beside me, so when I'm needing something real quick, I just grab it. And then I varnished the back with 2 coats of satin varnish. Now you can use a matte varnish. You know, there's no sense in using anything like gloss or anything like that, you know. I just put a satin on it to kind of protect it a little bit. Okay, so on the front, I also applied my multi-purpose sealer with my damp sponge, okay? Lightly sand it. And then you're going to apply with the same sponge. I did paint my soft black on with the sponge as well. With the same sponge, you're going to apply 3 coats of white. And it did take 3 coats. If you've got a white paint that has better coverage, it may only take 2 coats, but I still think it's going to take 3, no matter what you use, to cover up this tannish color wood. Just using, I don't know, a couple of coats. I started out, I was going to just use a couple of coats, but it just did not cover good, and I wanted my background to be white. So I did 3 coats with my sponge, and I liked using the sponge. You can use a paintbrush. You don't have to use a sponge to put all these things on. But with my sponge, I could kind of push it up against the flower there and make sure that I got the sides of my flowers painted white as well. They don't have to be painted white. You can leave them brown, like the edge. You know, I didn't paint the edge of the surface, but you know, that's totally personal preference right there. Hello, Mary. All right, so now we're at this point. I've only applied 1 coat on each of these colors. I'm going to apply a second, but I'll go ahead and tell you what colors that I did here. This flower is berry cobbler. All the leaves are new leaf. This is Stormy, and this is purple pizzazz. Then we've got Sunny Day and lamp black. This is a mixture of salted caramel and Sunny Day, and I will be repeating these layers, so as I repeat them, you know, paint them on a second time, I will repeat what I did. All right, so I just cut my untied my handles on my piece up here, so I can put them back on later, and set those aside so that you can use something else to tie them up. You don't have to use that jute stuff that comes with it, but it kind of goes with the rustic stuff of this. So let me look over to Facebook real quick. All right. Okay, we are doing good. Okay, so for the first thing that I did on this, I stenciled on my background my little honeycomb back here, and I'm going to use this stencil right here. It's available on my website. In the description on YouTube, it has listed all of the paints that I used, every product that I used, and the stencil is on there. Now, as far as paintbrushes go, you just use your favorite paintbrushes. You don't necessarily have to have me telling you exactly what paintbrush to use. You know what paintbrush is going to fit inside a certain area, so that's the paintbrush I want you to use. The only one I may specify is a filbert brush for when we go and do the layering on the flowers. Okay. A stencil brush is what I'm going to use to stencil with, but if you don't have a stencil brush, an old scruffy brush of some kind will work just fine. Okay, so I want to mention that QR code that's on the screen there. That is a QR code that goes directly to my website. So if you ever need to just go right into my website and do some shopping, you can just scan that QR code and head right over there. Okay, we are going to use two colors. No, we're just going to use one color for this. We're going to use Salted Caramel. This is a brand new color this year. Just came out. I love this color. It's just so yummy looking. Who doesn't love salted caramel? Come on. Alright, so we're going to need a stencil brush or some type of scruffy brush. Dry. We're going to use it dry. And I'm going to load it up and then offload it. I'll work that into the bristles a little bit, and then I'm going to come over here and offload it on my dry paper towel, because I want this to be light, subtle in places where it barely shows, and other places I want it to be darker. So that's going to be where you're going to give your brush a little bit more pressure to get those colors a little bit darker. And you can come out past this all the way to the edge. I did in a few places, so feel free to do that. Let's see, I'm going to try and lay this stencil on here similar to what I laid it on earlier. So I must have been up higher because I have one up here. Alright, bear with me. That looks roughly close, so I'm just going to go with it right there. And I'm first going to tap because, you know, I'm not 100% sure how much paint is in my brush. And this is not laying flat because of the flowers. It's keeping it raised. So I'm just going to give soft pressure on here. And we're going to go around our bee. And just wherever you can want to put some of this color, you just put it in there and go, go, go. I'm going to skip over my wings here. Make that one a little bit darker. Come out here. I'm just going, see, this is why we only put one coat on here, because, you know, we don't want to anything too painted in too well right now, because we got all these layers that are going in here. I'll go around, go inside this one. And I've got to move it to come over to this side. You know, and it may not end up matching perfectly, but it's going to be roughly close. So let me move this over here, line it up. And I want to put some over here. And a little bit down here. You know, I'm just doing kind of a hit and miss kind of thing where I'm not trying to fill in a lot of my squares or octagon shapes, but I do want highs and lows, you know, some places that are dark, some places that aren't. So when you're doing that, be sure to let off of the pressure as you're rubbing where you want some lighter areas, and give more pressure as you're coming down into some of the darker areas. I think I want to get one. Let me just line this back up here, because I want to get some color right back there. I mean, we're going to shade around this little guy, so don't have to get super technical here. And of course there I couldn't get close to the flower, so, you know, I would really have to work hard on that one. But let's see if we can get a little bit in there and give it some. My original one, I don't have anything there, so, you know, not a big deal. But if you don't want to see those white places, then just go in and add a little. Add a little here, add a little there. Okay, that's done. We're done with that. We're done with the stencil brush. We don't need it anymore, or scruffy brush, whatever you're using. Don't feel like you have to, you know, have a stencil brush, but if you do need a stencil brush, I do sell them on my website, and this particular one is my favorite, my absolute favorite stencil brush. Once I started using it, there was no using any other stencil brushes, and they do come in several sizes, but I just sell this size, the 1/2 inch. Stencil Pro. Oh my gosh, it is an amazing, amazing brush. All right, okay, so we've got that on there. Let's get some second coats on. So I'm just going to put out all the colors that I'm going to need. So this salted caramel that I have out, I'm going to need some Sunny Day to mix with it to go over that. Sunny Day is also going to be used on the body. We'll put some black out. Oh, if I can get it open. I didn't shake any of these paints up today, so I hope they're going to be okay. And you can't even see my palette. There we go. We'll get you on the camera. Okay, and then we've got green for our leaves. So I'm just going to be applying a second coat on here. Move my palette over this way a little. My purple and my blue. And I think that's going to get all the colors that we need for starting out. You don't need a whole lot here. Alright. Okay, I'm going to start in by painting another coat on this flower here. So, did any of you watch my coffee and chat? Oh, I need berry cobbler. Coffee and chat this morning. Oh my gosh. You probably noticed I had some press-on nails on. I don't have them on now. I took them off because I knew I wouldn't be able to probably do this with them on. But I did have someone request that I do a lesson on painting your own press-on nails. So I will do that at some point. And probably use a paint that will adhere to them. I just made those up real quick for me because I wanted a pair to wear, and so I just did them up real quick. I painted them to not, you know, worry too much about them. I just wanted something fun and quick that if I was dressing up I could just grab them real quick and put them on, because I just put mine on with the adhesive dots, so I can pop them off real quick, real easy. And if one comes off, I just go get another dot and pop it back on. So I've never had that issue though with them popping off. So, but you know, with the adhesive dots, they're only made to stay on like 3 or 4 days. They're not made to stay on for a couple of weeks. Now maybe with the glue they might, but I'm going to grab a smaller brush to paint this stuff in. These smaller areas, I'll just go with a round brush. Well, I want a bigger one for here, so I'll use a short flat brush. So when you paint on top of a piece that has the areas already like cut out, you know, it's not flat. It's got the areas that are I'll zoom in just a little bit, try and keep that palette on camera. The lines are, you know, deep. You know, it's cut into the surface. The pattern is cut into the surface. If you ever have that issue and it's like, I really like this surface, you know, it's only $1.70, but I don't really want that bee on there. Well, then just take some filler and fill in everything and dry it and lightly sand it and get it nice and smooth, and then you will have a very smooth surface to paint on. Alright, let's get some second coat on those leaves. I want to get these second coats on as quickly as possible so that we're not taking so much time doing the stuff that nobody likes to do. Everybody wants to get to the pretty painting We don't want to get those base coats on there. But we have to get them on. We have to, you know, take the time to do them nicely so that, you know, it's the foundation for your painting. All right, so I added a little bit of water to my yellow so I could get it a little bit thinner. You know, your second coats don't have to be heavy. Your first coat really doesn't need to be heavy either. You're just kind of filling in, making sure that the paint looks nice and smooth. You know, cleaning up everything as you go, or, you know, making a bigger mess. I really didn't need to worry about this because I got to paint that leg black, but so I'm going to bring the other one up here as soon as I get my base coats on and they're drying, and show you some of those lines and how I change them just a little bit. See, my yellow is a little messy there, but when I come in with my black, I will clean all that up. And hopefully I will clean it up. And I do need to put a little stinger on him. He doesn't have a stinger on the pattern here, but I want to give him a little stinger. So there's a second layer on there. And let's do our black real quick. Now my yellow's pretty wet, so I have to be careful not to get into my yellow with my black, or take my heat tool and dry it before I start applying the black. So just a quick layer in here. Adding a tiny bit of water. This is where I have to be very careful because I added water. I'm going to go down here. And I don't want my wet yellow, I don't want my black to bleed into my wet yellow. My prescription for my reading part of my glasses a little stronger. I feel like I could have it a little bit closer to me. Okay, I'll probably dry my yellow real quick because I got to paint those stripes in there, and I don't really want them to bleed into my black. So, use my heat tool here. This is a Ranger heat tool. I do have these on my website as well. So, you can grab that there if you don't have one, man. That's a handy little tool to have. Alright, I want to make sure it's not hot, because hot will set my paint immediately and I won't have any working time with it. It'll just dry right up. Okay, I'm using a number 2 round here. Depending on what brand of brushes you are using, you know, it could be a different number for you. A little outside the line there. This area I made bigger than it was cut into it. I didn't like how small it was, and this one as well. It was cut weird. So I'm going to bring that wooden one up here and show you. So this line here, I mean, it goes really far on this side. So I shortened it on this side and made it fatter here. So this is a very thin line, and I just made it fatter. This as well is very thin, so I made it fat, you know, fatter up and down and fatter across this way. I just thought it looked a little cuter being a little fatter. Alright, so let me see if I can do, well, I'm going to get a smaller brush. I don't think I can do a stinger with this bigger brush. So I want to put a little stinger on him. Get that on him right now. This is optional, you know, because he doesn't come with a stinger. But I just thought it would be cute to have one. Well, the stinger's a little crooked, but that's okay. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to show you is these, where this is cut out, it's kind of deep in there. I mean, it's you know, it's a cutout place. So it's good and it's bad. So it's good when you're painting because you got a place to stop. But you need to actually fill that in with your paint to make it for you guys. My thing I just froze. There I am. Okay, I froze for a second. I don't know what's going on. So you have to make sure you get your paint when you're painting these into that groove and, you know, not past it. The flowers doesn't matter because we're going to paint them a completely different way. But when you're doing your legs and your wings and stuff, you want to make sure your paint gets in that groove, but not past it. If you leave it unpainted, you'll be able to tell the lines are there. So we're trying to eliminate the look of it being already made up, you know, with the surface pre-designed, I guess. Okay, I didn't put a second coat on my outside here, so let me do that real quick. It's that salted caramel and a little bit of Sunny Day. So I'm just going to do a quick little coat in here of this. I think my husband left the garage door open. I can hear him cutting wood and everything. Usually I can't hear that in here. You can just go straight salted caramel. If you don't have salted caramel, antique gold is a good option to use here with this. And this number 2 fits so nicely in this groove right here. It's like a perfect little fit right here. Okay. Alright, we got that second coat on there. We're going to be adding some glitter, or not glitter, some metallic on that. Okay, so the wings are some washes of color before I put that iridescent stuff on there. So we want to create our washes, and we're going to use our colors that we use in our flowers here. And I'm going to lay it flat to do this so it doesn't run down my surface, and then I will dry it. So I'm going to take some of my red and create a wash. And it doesn't have to be a dark wash, so don't get crazy. And then some blue. And some purple. Okay, I've got my 3 washes there. And I'm just going to go in and put randomly some color on our wings. And just wherever you want it to be. You know, there's no right or wrong here. We're just putting a little wash of this color and letting it go where it wants to go and be where it wants to be. My purple and my red almost look the same color, so I'm going to go into some more red and need to make me up some more blue. I'm going to give this just a second to slightly dry. Actually, I'm going to force dry it but ideally you would let it dry just a little bit. I don't want to completely dry it, but I do want to remove any buildup that is causing a dark line on here just by using the toe of a damp brush. We're going to put a second wash on here, but we don't want buildup of dark color in any places yet, because that's going to take away from the softness of the wings. And I'm not sure, this one had a weird pattern in the wood right there, so that's why it looks like it has that line there. It's kind of weird looking. Don't really like it, but it's there. Alright, I'm going to go in my red this time, maybe just a little bit more paint in it. And I might add some of my lighter pink in there, because that is looking awful dark, and I think it needs to have this lighter pink in it. This is Fuchsia Pop, this pink here. So, oh yeah, that's much better. That's pretty dark too. Don't need it to be quite that dark. See if I can get a little bit more color into my purple to make it look like purple. And I'll put some purple in here. Okay, again, I'm going to dry that a little bit. This is the wings are a little bit darker than my first one, so I'm going to lightly touch those and remove some. Lightly touch. I very lightly dried them. Okay, and that kind of took our buildup off. Now the outer parts of the wings, I kept mostly white, but you know, if you get paint going out there, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay, I just want to make sure those are dry. We're creating our own little wings here, so we're doing our own design on them. We're not following theirs, you know, completely. So I'm going to make a kind of gray blue color. A little bit more blue. I mixed a little bit of black in with my blue here, and then I want it to be very inky, because we're going to create some little, again, this is an optional step. If you do not want to do this part, you don't have to, but I'm going to try to create, okay, that was bold, some stuff in the wings. And for me, I just do it like it's little stained glass pieces. I try not to think too much about it. I just paint it in there. Okay, that was bold and just a tad bit too bright. Okay, you're just creating some little lines in there. I mean, just little lines. That one got a little bold, but we'll go with it. When I load my brush, I try to take it over to my paper towel and remove some off of the tip, but sometimes I have to do that twice. Just some little lines in there. I think the flowers will actually take us longer than the bees will take us. Okay, I'm going to grab an angle brush here. I'm going to get a tiny bit more black in that blue mix there, that watery stuff that I made right here. And I'm going to shade underneath this wing here. This is also the color we will shade around the bee with. And I just want a little separation of the wings. Make it look like there's two wings on each side. We'll also put this color here, but we'll come back and darken this. This is just getting some areas established right here. Okay, so we've got the wings kind of, you know, where they're supposed to be. Okay, let's begin shading on the body. Let me get some soft black out, because I think I mixed, you know, I didn't write down any instructions on this, so I don't know if it'll be the same when I get done or not, but fingers crossed, fingers crossed. All right. So I'm going to shade on the yellow part. And so I'm going to take my salted caramel and a little bit of that soft black. I'm just dirtying up that salted caramel, but the soft black has a more brown tint to it, plus it's a little more transparent, which is nice. All right, so we're going to go on around pretty much the entire body here. If it gets dark, just touch it back with your finger. Okay, I touched back a little bit too much. Where's my water? I don't have my palette spritz with water. How can I float without water? Come on. Spritz that palette with some water. Go pick it up on your water side of your brush. I'm going right over the black. That's not a big deal. We don't have to try and skip over and do that stuff, man. That'll make you insane. Don't do that. Come up the side. I do want it to come in the body just a little bit. I want to bring this over a little bit more. Now I'm laying my hand in the water. I'm not out in that line right there, and I can see that line because it's not filled up with color. So I gotta get some of this color down in that groove so it disappears. Just taking the little toe of the brush and kind of scooting it down in there. I mean, I have the tiniest amount of paint on my brush because I don't want to go out past. Let me mix just a tiny bit more, get a little scooch of water. Okay. I know he looks kind of dirty, but that's okay. We're gonna clean him up. I am going to repeat that. It does need to be darker. I feel like it needs to be a little bit whiter too, so I'm gonna dry that real quick. And I'm gonna repeat. Make sure it's not super hot. That's just a touch dark right there. A little bit more water. More water will make your paint more transparent, which I like to use transparent floats. So okay, let's try that. And now let's create a little bit of wash to put on the yellow part. And this is bright yellow. I want to brighten up the yellow a little bit before we add our highlight. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this wash down the center all the way up the body. But brighten it up just a little. Okay, just a little bit of a wash. Does wonders right there. Let me put some white paint out. We'll need it here in a little bit to highlight, but I need to touch something up in between this leg. I know we're going to be shading in between here, but it's not going to be quite this dark. So I just want to take care of that right now so that I don't, like, where does my leg go? I don't know where my leg goes. Okay, he's looking so cute. Let's make sure he's dry. We just got a couple more steps on the bee, and then we'll move on to our flowers. I'm going to highlight down the center. I'm actually going to use a flat brush, I think, because I like doing, I'm going to do a back-to-back float, and I really like using a flat brush for a back-to-back float. Okay, so you're just corner loading your damp brush with a little bit of white. The water is mixing in with your white paint, so it is thinning the paint a little bit. And touch your paper towel, and we're going to go down the body. Down the head. Okay. Flip it around and do it on the other side. Need a little bit more paint in my brush here. Now I'm going to come back and touch up some black on the head there. I want to repeat a little bit more on the body, because I had water in my brush and I let it blend with that white paint. So that created a very light wash, and so it faded down in there. So that's how I do my back-to-back floats, so that they are not they don't get overpowering that way. I gotta fill in these areas where the wood is cut, where the paint didn't want to go down into the little groove areas. So we can make that highlight look like it's going straight down the back of the bee there. This side could be a little bit wider. I'm going to touch up on the head with black, so I'm not really worried too much about how messy the head looks, because we're going to fix that. Okay, and I will do that. I'm just going to thin a little bit of my black If you have any questions, be sure and ask. Remember, comments are going to get you in the drawing. Comments, sharing, and liking. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to touch up on my black out here where I went across it with my yellow and brown mix, just so we can have the outer edge of the black be dark. Now if you like it with the brown, you don't have to do this. I say look at yours and you can decide if it looks like it needs something or not. Okay, let's put some highlights on here on the arms, legs, antenna, stinger. So we're going to use some white. A little bit thinner paint, so my paint will flow off my brush a little bit more. It just stopped, so it wasn't flowing. And don't just fill it in. Okay, and we can take a little bit of this and create a little bit more of a highlight down the back. And don't forget a little highlight on the stinger. Okay, then go back over, if you need to, when we add water to our paint to thin it for fluid consistency, it's going to make the paint less opaque. Okay, so you may need to go back over, not every place, but a few places, just to make sure you got some popping in your white. Okay. That it just doesn't fade away and doesn't show up for you. Okay. All right. We got to add some iridescence on our wings, and then we're going to shade around the bee. Where is my iridescent stuff? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is what I used. Enchanted Shimmer, and this is actually a white color. But you could also just use some Glamour Dust Ice Crystal if you prefer to use that. Whatever you want to use will be just fine. Okay, I'll probably put a couple of coats on here. I think I did a couple of coats on my other one. You can varnish this and then apply this if you want to. If you're going to varnish with a matte varnish, I would recommend doing this after you varnish. I need to shade on the wings another time, so before I add my second layer, I got to get that second shading next to the body. Right there. Oh, so pretty. I know the sparkly stuff never shows up on the camera as well as it does. Alright, so I'm going to create that blue-black mix. I still have some there, but I'm just going to make a new pile of it. For shading around our bee, add some water. I'm going to keep it fairly sheer. This is going to lift the bee up off of the surface a little bit. Let me make a little bit more. I'm already running out of it in my brush because I thin it down a good amount with some water. because I like sheer. You know, I can come back and add more, but you know, taking it away, pretty much can't do that. So cute. Okay, I did some up here under these legs, and I did this twice. I didn't do it just once because I'm doing sheer layers right here. Let's go under the antenna. Down here, this, and then I'm going to, I need to redo the wings here. It's still a little bit tacky. Let me dry that because I need to shade on the wings another time. Let me look up and see if we have any questions. I think my feed kind of froze there when I got frozen a while ago. Alright, no, I don't see any questions anywhere. No comments on Facebook. Alright, where am I? In the wing. Right in here we need darker. Maybe even just a little bit more black in there. You can use soft black here as well. Okay, that looks better. Alright, I'm going to go around a little bit more. I'm not going to go every place, so I'm just going to, you know, pick some places and put a little bit more. Like, that's definitely a shadowy place. We want to have some in there. You don't need much paint on your brush to do this. I mean, it is seriously just barely on my brush. Just a few bristles. Okay. He looks like he's popping off of there. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and finish up this border before we move to the flowers, because the flowers can be our last thing that we paint, the flowers and the leaves. So I'm going to put some gold out. This, now I don't know how long I've had this bottle. This is Emperor's Gold Metallic. It's one of my favorite metallic golds. If you have extreme sheen, you can certainly use extreme sheen as well. So just whatever you have that you want to use. And we're just going to fill in our little groove here with this metallic paint. And I don't know if I did it twice on my other one or not. I don't think that I did. But you can do it 2 times if your metallic is not showing up well, so. I like that this groove is already cut right here. Makes it very nice and easy for doing a border. Okay, so you can see a little shine on there, a little shine on our wings. We'll put another layer on our wings. You could add the glamour dust on top. I'm trying to think if I added a layer of glamour dust. It feels like I added a layer of glamour dust on there. So I may come back and do that as well. Let me get this border dry. I don't want to be laying my hand in it. You still have to shade inside this border to finish it off. Alright, so hopefully that got that good and dry. Okay, so when I shaded inside here, I used my soft black, because it's kind of a brown color, and my salted caramel. And just mix them to a nice little dirty gold color. And then we're going to go right next to this. I did do it 2 times. I do almost everything just about 2 times. I'm not sure I mixed enough to go all the way. So, oops, wrong color. I don't want black. I want soft black. And my salted caramel. A little bit of water. A little more salted caramel. And then we'll finish this out with our first shading. Oh, don't want it in my gold. I have to touch up my gold there now. Okay, so there is one coat on that. Let me dry that because I got to touch up my gold now. Got my color in my gold. I think while that's drying, I might go ahead and put a layer of that iridescence on the wings again. And I am going to top it off with some glamour dust. I don't know how well. I mean, the glamour dust doesn't show up on there super well, but it does give that little bit of sparkle, where this just gives more iridescence. So I think the combination of the two, oh, that is so pretty. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Okay, let me do a quick touch up here. I just saw a couple places that I missed, so I'm just going all the way around it. Okay. All right, one more shading on the inside of this border piece. And then we will finish off our leaves and flowers. Okay, and we mixed salt on brush. I'm using a 3/8 inch angle. We use salted caramel and soft black, just a little bit. A dirty caramel color. And this second float actually smooths out your first float, so when your first float has all these like choppy lines in it, when you do it a second time, you know, with a nice sheer, not super sheer, but sheer layer, it literally smooths out all those little choppy strokes. So, okay, let's do our flowers. So good. The wings are nice. Thank you, Mary. Looks perfectly dimensional. Awesome. I feel like the shading under the bee could be a little bit darker, so I might come back and tuck in a little bit in a couple places in there. Okay, so the flowers, I did not do anything fancy on these flowers. There's 3 layers on here. The second layer is just that bright pink, that Fuchsia Pop on that one. This second layer on here is Shoreline, and then this second layer is Lavender. And then I take that light color and add white, except for on the blue I just did straight white. And add mostly white with just a teeny tiny little bit of that previous color. So, let me see if I can move my palette up in the camera shot here. Got the pink and the blue. and the purple. Now, if you're painting these and the colors do not pop as much as you want, add white to your second layer, a little bit of white, and then on the third layer just do straight white. I mean, there are lots of ways that you can, you know, figure it out and make it look how you want it to look. Okay, so I'm going to be on the chisel edge of this brush and just pull some strokes. First, I think I got too much water in my brush, so I'm just going to squeeze out the paint and water there and reload my brush. This Fuchsia Pop is kind of transparent, so it takes a little bit to get it showing up as much as I would like it to show up. And we're just going to pull some petals into that center area and just make a second layer. That's all we're doing here. Okay, there's a second layer on the pink. This really is a pretty fast project since the pattern's already on here. It makes it so nice. Okay, so this color will definitely show up more. I might add a tiny bit of that Stormy in there just to tone this light blue a little bit. Make it not quite so bright. This one I tried to make it a little more turned up. Alright, let's move to the purple. And this is Lavender. And so the second layers, you know, like I said, if they are not popping, not making you happy, just, you know, add a little bit of white to them and it's going to be fine. See, that one's already fading down in there. Onto that, but I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to add a little white in there just to make it opaque. Not that I want to change the color, but it's just not very opaque. So, I mean, I add the tiniest little bit of white in there. I might do that on the purple as well because this one's pretty light, and now this one's going to be light, so, you know, I kind of want to have a flowing thing going here. So just a little bit, you know, don't get crazy. That looks much better. I'm going to let those dry before I put my next layer on, so we're going to work on the leaves. So my leaves, I took my green here and mixed. I'll bring my green back down into the camera shot, maybe. Okay, there it is. I took my green, and you can mix either soft black or black, and I think I mixed black because I wanted this to be a more opaque, darker green. And you're still not on camera. Okay, let me just hold it up here. So I'm just mixing my green and black together and making a dark green. Okay, it's almost like a black green. And we will put this color at the base of our leaves. And I'm going to put it along the bottom as well. We'll come back and add this on the veins as well. A little bit there. And then we got this one. Needs just a touch more opacity to it. My brush is just a little too wet there. It's not near dark enough. There we go. A little bit darker is all we needed. I don't know. Well, I might repeat it just in the very dark areas. But for now, we'll go ahead and add the vein in here. It does look like it's flying over. Looks like it's flying off the board. Awesome. I love creating dimension. I love how you can take something that is flat, and just by how you layer your paint, oh man, you get instant dimension. It's so cool. One of my favorite things about painting. Just brings everything to life. Okay, I'm going to darken. Add a little bit more black in my mix, because right next to the flower I want it to be a little bit darker. You know, those V's, you got to, that's the shadow area. You got to tuck that paint into those little V or triangle areas, whatever you want to call them. I call them V's, but you know, you can call them triangles, whatever you want. But those are the shadowy places. You want to make sure you get some of that darker color in there. Okay, these are going to be highlighted with Citron. And I think I'm going to mix some of my Citron with my base color green. Which is this new leaf here. And mostly Citron with a little bit of that new leaf. And this first layer won't show up a whole lot, but this is going to get a good foundation for our brighter color to be. So I think while that's drying, I'm going to go tuck a little bit more color underneath my B here. Oh wait, it was blue. Blue and... So I just need some darker stuff going on here. Got that little light place right there that kind of bugging me. Right there, where the paint didn't get in the little groove. There we go. Now I don't have that bright color like blaring in my face there. So you see, I'm not putting it everywhere. I'm just picking some areas, you know, that's going to just intensify that dimension. Okay, that feels dry. I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of Glamour Dust Ice Crystal on here. Again, an optional step. If you don't want to do this, you do not have to. Trying to decide if I want to get that out of the light. If I need to shade underneath that wing just a little bit more. I feel like it is not separated too well. Okay, that looks pretty good. We are in the finish line here, although those flowers have a few steps, so they'll take a minute. Alright, Glamour Dust Ice Crystal. Again, this is optional step. This on here, and let it, I did only do one coat on my other one. It looks a little milky at the moment, but it dries clear and sparkly, so we'll let that dry. And if I feel like it took down the iridescence too much, I'll just put another coat of iridescence on there. You know, it's an easy fix. It's just paint. Just paint. Alright, let's go with some white and do our layer on our flowers with our white. Try and make them a little bit longer. Not so stubby. Our centers are going to make all the difference here. Looks a little stubby. I'm just using this fill brush. I got a size 4. I would not go any bigger for sure. That'll just take away from everything. Okay, we have to get that layer dry. I've still got a couple of highlights left to do on my leaves, so we'll finish those out with just Citron now. Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. That was a lot of paint. I picked up a lot there. Got a little messy, but it still looks good. Lorraine, first time watching you paint, really enjoying it. Oh, well, thank you, Lorraine, and welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and thanks for being here. I've got over 300 videos on my YouTube channel, so catch some of those when you can. Any questions, let me know. Alright, we're just going to take some white, and that's pretty thin down white, so it probably will fade down in there. Alright, just a simple little highlight on there, like we did on the legs. You know, and if it fades down in there, then just repeat it a little bit. Okay, I want to make sure our white is dry, because we're actually going to put this greenish brown color in there first and get our shading down in the center of our flowers done first. So that's with some green and a little bit of soft black, that new leaf green up here, and a little bit of soft black. That might be a touch too much. A little bit more. Dirty, we're making a, well, here I am on camera, a dirty green here. Just our new leaf, which is our base color, and some soft black. I dip the toe in my soft black, and then I come down here and I wipe it off here, because I don't know how much paint is in my brush, and I don't want to go here and make it so dark that I got to start all over. So that's one way to kind of sneak up on things. And then you got a little bit right there you can keep adding to it to mix. Alright, so in our centers, we're just going to put this down in here. I should be using a much smaller angle brush than this. This brush is way too big. I'm just going to put it down in the centers and start our shading. And I'm definitely going to get my smaller brush, because that one, I'm going to take over the whole flower. Okay, let me mix a little bit more. Okay, that's a lot. Oh, I've gotten the yellow somehow, so we might get some yellow on our flower. Okay, it's too brown. Let me add some green to it. I still want it to look green. Okay, I'm just going to pat this around the center, that circle that I kind of made, and then just kind of tap it in and fill in the circle. We're going to add some dots and stuff down in there. We're in the home stretch here. Okay, let me fill in that center area right there. So that created our little shading down in the center of our flowers. So now we can just add some little dots in there. Let's see, I used the caramel, the salted caramel. We'll looks like I used some bright yellow, but it didn't really show up. And some white. So I might use the bright yellow and sunny day together. Okay, we'll start with our salted caramel here and just start adding some little dots in here. It's going to show up better on others. Come out into that dirty green that you just made. You're not filling this in completely, so, you know, don't get wild and fill it in. I'm just using the tip of a number 2 round, but you can use a smaller brush, a detail liner, if you're scared that you can't stay up on the tip of a 2 round very easily, then use a different brush. Okay, I'm just going to wipe my brush off. There's no point at this point to wash your brush. Okay, I'm going to mix those 2 yellows, the bright yellow and the sunny day. And my paint is not very fresh here like that salted caramel was. So we'll see if I can get some to come off of my brush. This is when your dots could get too big because you're trying to get the paint to come off your brush and you're using old paint. So fresh paint is always best to use, especially when you're dotting. And, you know, don't do what I say, not what I do. Okay, how's that? Because I did not get fresh sunny day. My bright yellow was pretty fresh, but my sunny day, not so bright, or not so fresh. Okay, let's add some white dots in there. Just a few of these. We don't have to wait for our other dots to dry, because we're not, you know, we're not putting big ginormous dots and we're not filling in, so there's no need to stress about waiting for dots to dry. Just put a few in there. You can shade around your flowers on this piece on the background, but I didn't want to do that. I felt like it was going to take away from it. So I think the wings look pretty good. They're very iridescent-y still, and they got just that tiny little bit of sparkle to them. So I think that is going to finish this up, you guys. Let me move some stuff here so I can bring my other one in here. We'll set them side by side and take a look. This is the one I painted today. Let me wide angle out just a little bit. And this is the one I painted the other day. They look pretty similar. It looks like I washed some purple onto that, so it wasn't so white on that purple one. I'm not sure which purple I used here. Purple Pizzazz maybe? Because it's more transparent. So that's up to you if you want to wash some purple onto your flowers, centers. I may have done the same thing on this one. It's not pure white up there. Probably that Fuchsia Pop, because it's a bright color. Alright, that looks a little bit better. This flower I did tilt that way a little bit more than I tilted this one, so that's all in how you place your strokes in there. But so cute, so cute, so cute. Yeah, started out like this and got to here. So I think it turned out. I really like the wings on the one I did today. I think they are much brighter than these wings. So yeah, that turned out super, super cute. Let me check Facebook. Okay. All right. So that is that one for today. I don't know what my next live will be, but I am going to do that one surface that I showed this morning that came from Hobby Lobby that has the flowers already printed on it. I never turned my lights up. You probably would like to see a little bit better. I'm going to change the flowers on that one a little bit. I'll probably make that one a video and post it on my YouTube channel. That is just the cutest thing. I love, love, love. Stencil on my website, stencil brush on my website, and the QR code you can scan Be sure to like, comment, and share so you can get in my drawing for some Dynasty brushes and some other goodies from me. Maybe you'll get this painted one from today. Maybe. I might just throw that in there in the goodies to give away. So, because I don't need two. So, yeah, I think whoever wins will get this and some Dynasty brushes and who knows what else. You know, I'm a giver. So we'll see what we can do about that. Okay, so I'm going to check for questions before I pop out of here, you guys. Get me back on the screen. Now I have turned my lights down because they wash me out. They're so bright. They're so bright. They completely wash me out. Okay, this one was fun, you guys. What a great time. Great time with this. I really like this one. I am going to be working on some press-on nails, using some different paints and stuff on them so that I can try them out. But because I did have the request of doing some painted nails, so I think I will definitely be working up some different nails, and then I probably will do a live for those. I think that will be a really fun one to do a live with. I mean, press-on nails are a big thing now, and I do use gels on my press-on nails, but the ones I painted this morning were just my acrylic paints. So, and they turned out so cute, so cute. So if you didn't watch my coffee and chat this morning, you can go over there and watch that and see those nails that I painted. So, all right, any questions from anybody? I appreciate you guys so much being here. This was a really fun one for me. I was excited to come and do this one with you. So, all right. I need some of the ice crystal. Yes, yes you do. Of all the DecoEARTH products, and I've got them all. This Glamour Dust, oh, it's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. If I could bling everything up, I would. And this color is ice crystal, but the glitter that is in this comes in a jar of loose glitter, so you can put it in any color, or just, you know, put some varnish on and sprinkle it on top and have glittery. That's I've shown that in a couple of things that I've done, so that's really fun. Yes, the Glamour Dust Ice Crystal, love it, love it, love it, love it. I highly recommend that you get some. If you have not shopped at DecoEARTH.com so far this year, or even if you have and you've used somebody else's coupon code, you can use my coupon code. It's good till the end of June, 20% off your total order, but you only get to use it one time. So, you know, you need to hop around to different different teachers and instructors and get all of their coupon codes. So you know, the more you shop, the more discount you get. So grab that. That is in the description below this video. Go down below the video, and there's the word more. Click on that and it will open up everything that is underneath that I put on there. Oh yeah, you'll have to get that glitter, that loose glitter. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And it comes in gold too. I believe I have both the clear, like it's in the ice crystal, and I have gold. So yeah, ooh man, we could have put gold glitter on this trim. That would have been pretty. But I do like the metallic on there, you know, kind of, you know, a little play off of the wings. So, all right, you guys, I think that is going to end it for me. It's your first time being here. You'll be back for sure. Awesome. That's great. This did go live onto my Paint Along with Lana Facebook page instead of my Lana Lamb Designs Facebook page. I'm not sure how it got changed. Maybe when YouTube did some updating and changes here recently, it changed it to that one, because I've never physically gone in and changed it. So generally it's on my Lana Lamb Designs Facebook page. But that's why I couldn't find my coffee and chat this morning, because it went to Paint Along with Lana Facebook page. So anyway, find me on one of those two, and I'm there. So okay, you guys, I think that's going to end it for me. Let me just go back to YouTube and make sure that I don't have any more questions, and I don't see any. So you guys have a wonderful and blessed remainder of your day. I can't wait to see what you paint. Pick up a paintbrush, and you know, even if you just play around and you know, you're just getting some base coats on something, you're being creative. So I hope you find time every day to do something creative, and I appreciate you guys all so much. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye bye.